Evening. Well, I made some progress tonight. I've been assembling the short block. Got all the pistons back in. I was going to go over some tips I've learned about tightening the bottom end, the rod bolts and the main bolts. Both the torque angle procedure and the old foot-pound procedure if you want to just cheat and use that. I got a new timing chain. One thing to be careful about, unless you're buying a high-end timing chain, Comp, Lenati, you can buy a Cloy's kit or Melling or whoever. The gears are probably going to be made here in the States, but chances are the chain, it's probably going to be Chinese. Most of the Cloy's chains I've seen, I've ordered from work, they're all Chinese. Made in France. Good enough for me. At least they're friendly to us. The other thing to pay attention to is this little INA certification or whatever. This is the type of chain you want to run. You run a Chinese like a Cloy's chain or whatever, it's going to be tight, but 50,000 miles down the road, it's going to have some serious slop to it. So just keep that in mind. Either you're going to spend money on a high-end chain, or you're going to get a Chinese chain, which will be fine for a while, then it's just going to be as sloppy as the one you're taking apart. Here's your GM part number. 1264636. Either you buy a GM chain or you're going to spend money on a high-end kit. Or just run your sloppy shit to begin with. Stock slugs are back in. Cylinders look good. She spins over nice. So we'll flip this bird over. Alright. What I learned about torquing the mains down is you're going to start at the center. You start with the center bolts. Leave the outers out. You know, you get your sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or actually, the way they do it is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Starting from this side, going forward. You're going to go 15 foot-pounds on your inner bolt, and then you're going to add another 80 degrees of twist. You don't need a torque angle gauge to figure that out. There's 90 degrees. Extra twist. Just go like this. Scotch before. And the outers, you're going to go 15 foot-pounds, or pound-feet, however the appropriate terminology is. 15 foot-pounds, same sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And add another 51 degrees additional twist. You know, here's your 45. You're just going to go just a little bit past. You know, whoop. Here's... trying to think here, let's see, yeah, 90, 45 is half that, you're going to go just a skosh past that. Or you can just cheat altogether, because these are hardened bolts. Inners, with the proper sequence, do it in stages. The inners go to 55 foot-pounds, the outers go to 45 foot-pounds. And your outside external cap bolts, these go to 18 foot-pounds. So or you can just tighten them with a 3/8 ratchet, and it's not that big of a deal. So you can either go to 15 foot-pounds, 80 degrees additional twist on the inners, 15 foot-pounds of torque, and 51 degrees additional twist. Or you can just keep it frickin' simple, because I measured it. And 55 foot-pounds on the inners, 45 on the outers. Do it in sequence, do it in stages. Don't do it all at once. You add 15 foot-pounds, then go from 15 foot-pounds to 55, and then go from 15 foot-pounds to 45. Connecting rod bolts, I'm going to pass on his information. Sloppy Mechanics, Mr. Matt, pointed out, and he measured it. Yeah, they're between 50 to 55 foot-pounds. Seems like a little bit much. They are a hardened bolt. So I would go 50, 51 to be on the safe side, because if I remember correctly, you torque these bad boys down to either 15 or 22. I got to look in the book, and add another 80 degrees twist I believe it was 80 degrees twist, and he measured 51, 52, 53 foot-pounds. So you can go, on the inners, I'd go 50, 51 foot-pounds. So that's just a little bit of a cheat. You don't have to be specific. I mean, if you want to go with a aftermarket expensive ARP fasteners, then yeah, you're going to go with whatever they recommend. But for the factory hardened stuff, you can reuse these. They're hardened bolts. They're good bolts. 55 on the inners, 45 on the outers. Do the sequence. Do it in stages. Start with 15, work your way up to 55. It's pretty freaking simple. So here's where I'm at with it. You could replace the timing set. Either you buy a good expensive comp or Lenati or whoever, spend 140 bucks, or you can reuse your factory timing set as long as the teeth aren't all marred to shit, and get a good chain from General Motors. Spend the 45 bucks and get a good chain. Don't buy the Chinese cloys, don't buy the Chinese milling. They buy their chains aftermarket overseas. That's just how it is. Yeah, it's made in France. They're friendly, whatever. They're good people. So here's where I'm at with it. I felt I owed you guys a little bit of an update. And it's coming along. Cam's in. Obviously, timing set's on. I'm going to go over all my bolts, make sure everything's torqued. And I'll have this thing together by Thanksgiving. I will have a running video. I'm going to run it on the stand. All right. You guys have a good night.